Hi everyone, the Mature Simmer here. Welcome to another map tour. This is another Polish map, Zdziechow, that is a FS19 map that has been moved over to FS22. So if you're a fan of the Polish maps, there's another one available now. And this is from SAYMON345 and OalePadaka. Same two map authors that were responsible for the FS19 map. So let's quickly take a look at what they say about it in the posting. Welcome to Zdziechow. Welcome to Mazovia. This is a Polish map modeled on a real village in the center of the Mazovian voivodeship. The map offers 5 villages, 5 farms, 133 fields with meadow, 173 farmlands, 20 selling points for your goods, also production goods, 3 production points, dairy, sawmill, spinning mill, BGA, 2 gas stations, a lime buying point, 2 forests, Polish license plates, custom traffic license plates, traffic and pedestrians, animated door and light, automatic lighting after dark, paintable new types of foliage, custom textures for grass and deco foliage, custom terrain textures, paintable terrain textures, paving, etc. Placeable silo on farm, placeable house on farm, 3 water points, hydrants, you can fill water from water points, ditches, custom sounds on map, POM on roads, etc. All Farming Simulator 22 standards, and a lot more. Hope you enjoy the map. So, this was the spawn point on New Farmer mode. $100,000 is normal. We've got a gentleman sitting here, waiting for the bus, I guess. And, we're here on the map. So, let's take a quick look, as we always start out, at the PDA. So, as is typical with a lot of the Polish maps, you've got a lot of thin, long fields, one right next to the other. And we're here at the bus stop at the spawn point. We've got some equipment here, along with what looks like a house and so forth. So we'll go check that out in a bit, but let's just, take a quick look at the map. So there's a lot of stores. The scoop are the stores on the Polish map, as you are aware of if you've used them before. So there's a sawmill is there. There's some named sell points like Meblomax, Myrex, another store, Viri, I'm not sure what that is, Lime Station. And then a hotel restaurant. There's one of the 2 gas stations. There's the other one, so a biomethane station. There's a sell point down here. And there's a production point, another one. So I think this is the dairy. That may be the spinning mill. Not entirely certain, but... And then the animal dealer. Not seeing easily here what the biogas space might be, but then I think these are the farms, so it's GR1. I think we're at GR3. There's 5. There's 4. And here's GR2. So those are the 5 farms, 1, 2, 3 that we have at the starting point, 4 and 5. And then as it says, there's, 5 villages around, so, however you divide them, I'm sure this is one, this is another. There's one here, probably one here, and one here in the center is, where we're at. So if we switch to farmland, you can see we own this area, again, GR3. Not really one of the numbered fields, but when we get over there, we'll see what it looks like. This is not a map I've looked at before. And you can see, again, very small fields, 1.42 acres for 34,000, 4 acres over 107,000. So I would say you're not likely, at least in new farming mode, to get a whole lot of land to begin with. I mean, there's a little tiny piece here, less than an acre for 18,000, but these are not inexpensive pieces of land by any means. So you will have that to deal with. Let's take a look at the calendar, because it is a modified, slightly modified crop calendar. So there's a little bit of an extended planting period, and then also harvest cycles that I think are moved a little bit here as well. And then before we go on the map tour, we'll take a quick look at what the selling situation looks like for all the items on the map, to see how thoroughly they cover all the goods that are available. So again, lots of the stores for selling your crops. You can see grapes and olives have a sell point. Potatoes, sugar beets. Okay, so the biogas plant. Okay, yeah, cotton, which is what I thought was the spinnery. Eggs, wool, yeah, again, what I thought was the spinnery. And the dairy, wood chips, silage grass, straw. Alright, and then the productions, as you said, there are places that will buy your productions, so you obviously would have to put those buildings in, beyond the basics that are there, like the dairy. But it does look like, yeah, we can sell all the productions. And then there is a place, so kamienie, which are stones. So there's a place to sell your stones. Here's actually the other gas station. We've got a farmhouse, we've got the grain silo. The vehicle shop is right across from us. There's a lime station not too far away. Alright, so here we are on the farm. So we've got a sell point, or a sleep point, right here at the house. So we do have a farmhouse where we can sleep. Let's just take a quick look at our starting equipment before we go kind of wander around the yard and look for it. So we've got a Valtra 120 horsepower G115 tractor, a Fendt 716 and a Massey Ferguson 6713, 171 and 150 horsepower, so 3 tractors. Deutz-Fahr 8500 liter harvester. We've got that pickup that we saw sitting there. We've got a couple trailers. So 18,500 liters and 22,500 liters. So decent sized trailers. A 6-meter header. Small 3-meter cultivator. 4-meter disc harrow. 3-meter power harrow. Got a 3-meter seeder, and then the Amazon fertilizer spreader. So certainly on the small fields, that'll cover things pretty quickly. And again, even with the 3 meters, most of the fields are pretty small, so we'll be able to get out there and get through things pretty quickly if you're working on the fields. Alright, so empty storage shed there. There's our truck. There's one of our trailers. Let's see, another empty storage shed. Where's all our stuff tucked away? Lots of empty places here. Alright, I was thinking maybe we had a repair shop, but we don't. I think, yeah, that was just the one next door. Still empty. And still empty. So, a lot of places to put things, but right now things are out. So there's our Valtra. Got our other trailer there. Okay, tractor with the cultivator, I think. The other tractor with the seeder, I believe, attached. Or at least in position there. And the para hair, the spreader, harvester. And then our grain silo here. And so this area here, I believe, is our field. So there we go, owned by us. Just a grass field to start with. We've got, you know, it's fenced in, as you can see. So this is kind of our little piece of Zdziechow here, or Zdziechow. So definitely not incredibly large, but we do have one field that we could turn into something and some starting equipment, and then obviously a little bit of money if you want to do, you know, do something with that. Grain silo is empty, but that is the starting farm and the starting equipment. So let's just take a quick look at the map, do a flyover. Alright, so here we go. So relatively flat map, which is, you know, typical of what we've got with the Polish maps. Again, the vehicle shop and so forth is right across the street. This is the largest field here, 64. So as we can see, it's 37.21 acres. You know, and then we've got much smaller ones. Well, these aren't that small here, but you know, but 2 acres, 5 acres. I think we're going to be close to the edge here. Alright, so here's a village. So we'll kind of go around the edge. We've got one of the villages there. Some of the fields on the southern end. A few houses there, but nothing village-wise. But again, you can see very, very thin fields. I mean, if you take a look at that, again, it's a little deceiving perhaps because we're up in the air, but you know, it is not something you're going to have to do a lot with, and just a very short dividing line. So if you're playing with crop destruction, things like that, you're definitely going to have to be careful of your neighbor's field. But yeah, pretty flat, straightforward, and not a lot of variety, that's for sure. So there's another village here. That also is, I think, yeah, GR2. So this is one of the farms. We'll definitely kind of drive around when we go on the driving tour. So I will hop into our pickup to do that, and we'll get going on that, just so that we can give you a quick layout or an understanding of what this is like. Well, we've got deer wandering into our buildings. He was in there somewhere. He's hiding now. Probably walked out the back. Who knows? Sometimes these deer can walk through walls. You just never know. Gotta get out and open our gate. We'll hop back in. And let's just take a quick look. So if we head up this way, we can get to the first farm. And actually, we'll pass by the second one, so we'll stop there first so that you can decide, you know, do you like this one? Do you perhaps like one of the other 4 options that you've got available to you to get yourself set up? And that is sometimes what you run into on a lot of the Polish maps, is they are so densely populated and so consumed by fields that there's just not a lot of places, unless they've given you something, for you to put your own farm down on. So you just have to be careful with that. So yeah, this is, let me just be careful, the second farm here, right around this corner. So yeah, I think that is it there. So we'll go take a peek, see what you've got. So again, you've got a house available to you. Definitely some tight quarters for, you know, placing things, but, you know, they are buildings that you can open things up with. You know, you can fit your harvester in there with the higher storage location. We've got some areas around back here as well. Another way out to the street there. So this is farm 2. A little bit of an old implement, an old plow, I'm guessing. Or no, actually, I wonder if that's a potato picker. So yeah, we've got that. Let's see if I can go around back here. I'm not sure that it'll let me, but I think I may just have to turn around. Yeah, we'll just back around here, but you know, a little bit of few options there, that's for sure, for things, but as any of the farms on the Polish map, very tight. So yeah, we're still, you know, not having a lot of original FS22 first appearance maps. You know, obviously, again, as I said, this is a move of an FS19 map up to FS22. So we've got, yeah, a couple of points there. This is the lime station, so you can stop by there and pick up lime. And again, very, very thin fields, as you can see, kind of stuck in anywhere they can get them in, so that folks can make a living. So I'm pretty sure we want to go straight up that road. No, actually we don't. We want to turn left here. Oh, and I can see it on the mini-map. I just wasn't really viewing it appropriately. And that'll get us to the the number 1 farm. That is an option. And there's the road, so there it is. We've got a trampoline in this one, so depending on what kind of family you've got, you know, a little bit of a well, and once again, more room to maneuver here than we did on the other farm. So this one's definitely got some more space to put some things in. I don't believe this is a working silo at this point. But, you know, a shed there, and then the ability to get out if you own some of those fields in the back. So once again, if we go here, I'm thinking, yeah, you can just get the farm itself for $43,000, but you know, it's not going to give you any fields with that. So, you know, again, a good amount of storage, just like we have on the other farm, but a lot more room to maneuver for certain. Alright, so let's see. We've got 1, 2, 3, and then we've got these two down here. So yeah, we'll go ahead, we'll head out this way, and we'll drive down this road and then maybe head down through there, causing a problem with traffic. It seems to be what happens every time I'm touring a new location. I just drive around like a tourist and get in the way. But you know, again, the challenge becomes with you know, maps based on real locations. You know, they didn't say they're using DEM data for the terrain, but in a lot of cases there's a little bit of an assumption that I've got to have that they're modeling it relatively realistically. And so I think, you know, the fact that this is flatter or very flat might be indicative of what the terrain is like in that area. I'm not sure if that's like a cemetery on the corner or just a marker. I think it's just a marker. So I'll head here, and then there should be a road that breaks off and kind of goes straight at this portion here. There it is. So another cross there. So we'll head down this way, but it gives you, you know, a good feeling of what the countryside is like, how wide the paths are between the fields. So you could definitely move around and, you know, if you're careful, harvest and not get into too much trouble. And certainly your, you know, your passes would be with the length of the field, so you're really more dealing with kind of this end. So we've got a little bit of a stream, or at least a ditch there, not a whole lot of water in that stream. Let me make sure I'm not going too far south. No, not yet. So I think we're going to have an intersection up there that we can go to. So we got a little bit of terrain there just going down into the river, but other than that, we're still pretty basic. But yeah, this is, you know, kind of a standard size map again, it appears. So it didn't look like there was a road going off to the left. I'm like, it shows me something on the map, but it just gives you an idea of how tight things are. So yeah, we can see the farm. I think that's it there. The buildings as we go around this turn. So this is the fourth option on the map for a farm. So looks like we got corn on one side and some sort of grain here. And I think we're literally coming up to the farm. So I suppose if you don't own it, we're kind of theoretically trespassing, but we're going to assume that people are friendly and they'll be okay with us driving through their yard. So you've got some entrances out of the back of the building there. Again, a little bit of maneuver space, a building, a little gazebo. So here's the another farmyard you could use. Open up this gate so we can get out of the other end here. But again, a small location is another option for you if you're starting in one of the other modes that don't already give you a farm. Alright, let me see if we head over, because now we need to get over there. It's going to be a little trickier, but in theory, there it is. It's definitely hard to see some of the roads here, I will say that. So, a little bit of a house there in the field. But yeah, we'll head over this way. You can see the church steeple of the one town that we were coming up on before. So yeah, this will take us back up to the road. I was gonna say, this wasn't a farm per se that it said you could use, but it does look like a farm. I just don't know. It's not on the map listed as one of them, so we won't consider it that. But yeah, yeah, not a lot to talk about, I guess. I mean, you're seeing what I'm seeing, and pretty general. So this will get us over to, I guess, the main, what I'd call the main road that goes diagonally through the map. It's at least paved as opposed to the other one that's, you know, a lot of dirt roads. And then as we head this way, we should hopefully be able to see the last farm area coming up, but I think it's a little ways away. So yeah, there's a shop and so forth there. So with 20 sell points, you know, there's definitely a lot of options to get your goods to. You'll certainly be able to be driving around amongst the villages quite a bit if you'd like. But definitely the close quarters with, you know, things pretty tight on the map. So, just like most of the Polish maps, you know, you're not going to be using large equipment, large implements here. So somewhere here, I think this would be the gate, is the last farm option that we have. So, probably one of the nicer houses. And I'm assuming that's our house. Yeah, I think so. There's a greenhouse over there. I don't know if that would be part of what we bought, and it may just be a placeable. It may not be a functional greenhouse, but once again, you know, some things here, you'd have to have something you could maneuver pretty well to get into that tucked away shed. You know, and then, you know, you're kind of out here a little bit. Let's just see how the cell area for this is. So it includes where we're at. So this meadow would be ours as well. But I'm not sure. Yeah, it looks like this greenhouse is part of 72. It's telling us it's a field, but I think it's a placeable, kind of taken out of the field. So yeah, this would be our yard if we use this farm. So this kind of gives you an idea of the 5 different options you have to begin life on the map. And you know, we've definitely taken a nice tour around. I'll pull off here so that we get out of the way, and we'll do our last few minutes of discussion, and you know, we'll end our tour here. you know, again, you know, a Polish map that you'd be able to use. I struggle myself, so as far as would I play it, I have difficulty with the tight fields on some of these maps. Some of the Polish maps I have used usually have slightly bigger fields and so forth. But depending on the type of gameplay you're looking for, I mean, certainly this might work for some folks, but I'm not sure. This certainly wouldn't rise to the top of my list as something that I'd be waiting to start play on immediately. But, you know, it does give us another option along with some of the other Polish maps that, you know, that have come out. You know, Golashev is one that I reviewed. You know, and again, for that reason, I'd say between the two, that one, I think I'd be more prone to play than I would this one. And I can't quite put my finger on why, which is a terrible way to wrap things up, but it just, I think the fields are too thin and kind of difficult to get around to. I mean, it definitely takes a little bit to get to places, and you know, I get frustrated if equipment hangs up and so forth. So that's probably the best explanation I can give. But hopefully this, again, gives you a nice view of something that has come out recently. And as always, you know, thanks for supporting the channel. Thanks for visiting. I'll continue to at least make you aware of maps, give you these tours as I come across things that look like they're ready to be utilized. And certainly there's enough things on the map that it's a playable map. I'm not suggesting like what we went through with, you know, Crooked Hills, where there's some challenges, major challenges of starting. This thing's certainly ready to go, which would make sense for a map coming from FS19. So, you know, if you want to know when more videos come out on the channel, please subscribe. Hopefully, if you like the video, please give it a click down below so that the like button is there for that. And I will see you next time.